Hello and welcome back to Planet Stronghold Colonial Defence. Especially the bumper cars. How did you guess? He's a racer, it's in his blood. Although with bumper cars he would seem more apt to go into the demolition derbies. He did that too. More money in racing. I imagine your parents were greatly pleased when we stuck to racing. So there we were at the arcade, and Alex had spent all his money trying to win this elephant at a shooting contest. The guy was trying to get him to leave since he was a crying kid, and well, that ain't good for business. So, big sis to the rescue? You could say that. After getting a feel for the rifle, I cleared all the racks and won Alex the toy. Kind of a worker thought I'd cheated. I'll be honest, I'd have thought he'd gotten rid of it by now. Looks like Remi's giving Captain Alex a bit of a workout. This would actually be a good time to ask you something about him. Every so often, you see Remi dash by, followed by Alex's pounding feet. Your brother's still new here, and I know how intimidating it could be, so we're trying to think of something the captain would enjoy. Sort of a welcome, if you will. You do know that fraternising with one's superior officers is frowned upon. True, but you didn't seem to mind. We've been through too much for it to matter to me. However, now High Command can't say I didn't warn you. So, Captain, do you have any suggestions about what we could do to make your brother feel welcome? Virtual game night. Requisition the hologames room, make a night of it. Hope the captain doesn't mind losing. Some officers are less understanding in that case. I wouldn't want to be stuck peeling potatoes on latrine duty. He'd be more pissed if he thought you held back. Word of warning, pick something else other than racing if you want to win. With heavy breathing, Alex returns, tired but triumphant as he holds a stuffed elephant close to his chest. Galia and Rigel give him applause, causing Alex's cheeks to go red. It was a tough fight, but I prevailed. I'll tell you this, if you get into a tug of war, get Remi on your side. Now I better go put Mr. Snuffles where he can't get it. Oh, I love the art. Yeah, let's face it, I'm a sucker for stuffed toys. Let's talk to Charlotte. Upon entering the greenhouse, you see Charlotte is busy looking at a small box of what appear to be tomatoes, and she's rather meticulous as she looks at every leaf and branch. When she hears your footsteps, she raises her head and gives a small smile in your direction. Captain, it's nice to see you. What brings you to my little slice of heaven? Just an informal inspection. You need anything? Now that you mention it. From the back of the greenhouse, you hear the patter of feet. Some of it are the footfalls of Remi, where you can make out at least one other individual. Hey, Mum. Where are you? Back here, honey. I'm just checking the plants for fungus. Indeed, as you look down at the tomatoes, you can see there is a stickily yellowish-green mould on them. Charlotte's quite careful when she examines it. This is no earthly strain of fungus, Captain. I don't recommend touching it unless you want to have your skin dissolve. A child of 9 or possibly 10 emerges, and she has the same colour of hair that Charlotte does. Hot on her heels is Remi, staying protectively by the kid. Mom, there's something I've got to tell you. See you at school. Oh no, Captain's here. I didn't think I'd be in that much trouble. That much trouble? Alicia Elizabeth Dubois, what happened? It wasn't my fault, honest. We were just having some fun at school, but Mrs. Anderson... Captain, sorry for the interruption. Let me introduce you to my daughter, Alicia. Hi. Hello. Now you were saying, Alicia? And from the beginning? Well, it started when I made a Sandman, and it sort of looked like her. Sandman? It was in snow, okay. So we asked Samuel if he could make it snow, and he said no, but he gave us a tubing. But it looked like toothpaste. He said it would make the sand clump like snow. So you built a Sandman? Sort of. Someone laughed, saying it looked like Mrs. Anderson, and Jimmy said that would make it a sandwich. And Mrs. Anderson started to get mad and was going to punish us. When Remi decided to make things worse? Aww. He kicked some clumps of sand on her, and that's when the others threw the sand balls. And buried her in the sand. Yep. Okay, young lady. Go do your homework. We'll talk about this later. Okay, Mom. Sorry about the interruption, Captain. I swear that girl's going to be the death of me one of these days. You're good at delegation. Let her other parent take care of it. Sounds great in theory, except for one major problem. My ex-wife's in prison back on Earth. Rather hard to get her to help. Unless she gets a pardon. Yeah, not very likely. Look, if you're interested I can tell you about it some other day, but not now. I'm just fortunate this deployment allowed me to bring Alicia. How do you feel about it? Civilians being in the colony? It's beneficial. As a general rule of thumb, if you're trying... you can't just establish a colony with only military personnel, not if you want it to be long-term viable. Otherwise, it's not a colony, it's a base. And don't get me wrong, military bases have purposes, but, it's nice to be near one's family. Strengthens your resolve. I promise to keep everyone as safe as I can. I'm glad you agree. I know if I ever started dating a girl, well, she'd have to feel the same way. Been pleasant talking with you, but I have other places to visit. See you later. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we've got 10 more to go, so let's do a side mission, I think. Raiding party of Matrix, crossed our boundaries, attacking us, but need your help. Okay, so let's head in. So we've got a recruiter who could potentially be very useful, but it's also potentially quite vulnerable. Let's get those two in there. Okay, let's get the recruiter in there. Okay, you can take out one of them. You can just hit there. And of course they target my bloody recruiter. I figured they'd do that, if I'm honest. Now, do I want the extra infantryman, or do I want to save, I think, and bring out the flamethrower turret? So you guys just hit there for now. Alright, get the flamethrower turret up. Hit there, hit there. Probably ought to upgrade my turrets given how much I use them. Put a sharpshooter in. Okay, sharpshooter. Kill. Good job. Back to the team talk. Talk to Griselia. Hey Griselia, what's the hold up? We're going to be late. Hold your horses, Lola. I want to check something right quick. I personally have only 2 horses and they're back on Earth. Really? What are the names? Sunrise and Sunset. You can consider them a match pair. That's a little corny, but I like it. My family owns a stable as well. It seems all the nobles own horses and know how to ride. Why is that? Not all of them, but most do. It's a status thing. After all, how many commoners can afford a horse, let alone feed and ride it for pleasure? But you own horses. My family owns a ranch. Many people are traditionalists, among other things. Maybe one day I could learn to ride. If we go to Earth, I could teach you. Or better yet, we have the Oryx. So what are you looking up? Griselia stops in front of a terminal. The holographic display lights up. This time it shows the Terran solar system, as well as that of Stronghold. You see several patterns of stars situated in the background, and realise the constellations from the perspective of Earth. Griselia is often beside herself as she doesn't check her horoscope. Some people feel lost if they don't start their day with a cup of coffee. Me, I like to look at my horoscope. So you think the heavens plot our course? No, not really, but when you're about to boil water or read someone's thoughts with your mind, you become much more open to such things. Plus it can be fun. I sometimes wonder how people can believe in such things. The belief in horoscopes goes back to the start of civilization. It's interesting to think how the stars could influence events, when we can travel between them. So what does your horoscope say for today, Griselia? Your irrational fear of razor wings will disappear this week and be replaced by a well-educated fear of razor wings. Okay, it looks like I need to stay away from the crystal caves. Ooh, what does mine say? You may feel like you're taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back, so a little indulgence wouldn't be out of order. Say, Lola, do you want to switch horoscopes? No, but I was going to get a manicure. Why don't you join? My treat? Xavier appears to be mulling over a decision and nods towards Griselia. What does mine say? Some days you must realise you can be rather high maintenance. Hey! That's what it says! Look, if you don't believe me. Remy pads forward and cocks his head. Aww. Some days you get the Borogrub and some days the Borogrub gets you. I agree. Sounds like both of us should stay away from the caves today. So, Captain, interested to see what the future holds for you? Do you have the lottery number? Ah, screw it, why not? True love will take your breath away and break your ribs in the process. Well, at least it didn't compare to a battlefield. I always pack heat. I think I will stand well to your side if you don't mind. Maybe someone tinkered with the horoscopes. Suki, has to be. Alright, Lola, I'm ready to go. Talk to you later, Captain. Okay. I'm deliberately talking to everybody, because there's no point, not. Alright, Griselia, I've got the front and the sides. You just need to have him lay on the side. No problem, Samuel. I have to warn you, his stomach's feeling rather queasy. So this is where everyone is. And who's this little guy? No, Captain, stay! Sound of a fart. Let's do this properly. I used to be able to do much better raspberries than that. Sorry, I tried to warn you. If that's the worst that I get shot today, it's still a pretty good day. Be that as it may, I certainly wouldn't want to get stuck in a foxhole next to you. And based on the composition of the chemical, it's going to stick with you all day. Showering ain't going to cut it. Computer says tomato juice might be fine. Well, tomatoes may be a little scarce, with Mario wishing to hold a Best of Italy fest. Personally, I wouldn't want to get between Mario and his cooking. I suspect the notches in his cleaver aren't just from the cutting board. Actually, alcohol should remove the smell. It needs to be really potent. Beer ain't going to cut it. Looks like Tequila Night with the girls is going to get cancelled. Well, at least you'll have the bar to yourself. Did I miss a memo about what's happening? Oh, sorry about that, Captain. Griselia and Rigel were just helping me with a personal project. When I get some free time, I like to find some indigenous species, take holographic pictures of them. Rigel does double duty as a taxi driver and animal wrangler. While I'm good at keeping the creature calm and reading its thoughts for Samuel's book. Once I get a few more entries, it'll be ready for publication. I have to say, it's much nicer since Griselia is helping. Things didn't work well, I gather. Let's just say the pictures I took were all fit for an autopsy. This way I can release the animal right back into the wild afterwards. Thanks, but I'm not interested, little guy. He really likes your smell, Captain. I think it's your shampoo, but... okay, now it has thoughts of nesting. Okay, first item is to change perfume, second is to figure out how to let the creature down gently. That's rather sweet when you think about it. If you could read his mind, you might think otherwise. He's wondering if the captain would be one with a little intestinal doctoring. That seems innocent. Wait, shouldn't that be interior decorating? Nope. It's wondering if the captain would be impressed if it decorated the ground with your guts. Okay, time to break out the trank gun. Oh, you're in no danger. It's just what it's thinking, not what it's gonna do. Yeah, I'm about done. It's time to return him home. It's a shame, really. Why? Their nesting grounds lie in an area claimed by both the Apex Ran and the Dradens. The Apex Ran think they taste delicious, and the Dradens think they're a nuisance. And their bigger cousins can protect themselves, but the little ones... well, I don't hold out hope for their long-term survival unless... you want to save them. You do know the Apex Ran and the Dradens don't like us either. I know, Captain, but this would be saving the species, especially if we get enough eggs to sustain a breeding population. Ah, boy. Yeah, alright. Fine. We'll make one trip and I'll go along. And if Murphy decides to toy with us, we leave immediately. Thank you, Captain. And we can name his species after you. I might change my mind if he doesn't leave me alone. I have one last set of pictures to take. I'll see you later, Captain. Ah, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Right, so back to side missions. But I think that's a reasonable point to end this part, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next.